Dark Digivolution, one of the most terrifying concepts in the Digimon world, with a 20+ year history of darkness. And a few years ago, when I was first starting this whole Digimon game, I made a video covering the history of Dark Digivolution. Well, it's been a few years since then, and a lot of Dark Digivolution has happened. Plus, I mainly focused on the anime, but today I'm going to try and give you a comprehensive history of every example of Dark Digivolution in the entire Digimon franchise.
It's Karn Spooktober Spectacular! What a
Not the beast! Ah! Out of my eyes!
Well, you won't be seeing me next time when we go digital.
This video will have spoilers for the entirety of the Digimon franchise. You are warned. What is up, scary companions? My name is Karn EX, and welcome back to Karn Spooktober Spectacular. And yes, today we are talking the history of Dark Digivolution. And I am talking very specifically of Dark Digivolution. There is a big history of other types of evolution. Digimon that are already evil digivolving is not a Dark Digivolution because they are not corrupted. They are not influenced by negative emotion and negative energy. So this video is going to specifically be talking about Dark Digivolution throughout the history of the anime, manga, video games, and some other things. It is likely I will miss one because Digimon is such a huge franchise and not all of it is documented, and what I consider a Dark Digivolution, kind of my dictionary definition of Dark Digivolution, you might disagree with, though I will try to cover some as we go along the way. And Dark Digivolution really begins back in 1999 with the original Digimon adventure. Tai, determined to make Agumon digivolve to fight Etamon, ends up pushing his crest and his Digimon partner way further than he should, using the wrong kind of courage, making Greymon Dark Digivolve into Skull Greymon. To me, this feels very intentionally like a callback to the evolutions triggered by poor care on the original V-Pets, but on the original V-Pets, the more lazy, poor care conditioned Digimon tended to not be like dark and more so, well, if you think about Digimon World 1, you had things like Numemon. Skull Greymon to me is much darker and much more evil, even though it was on the original V-Pets. This instilled a total fear in me as a child. It is one of, if not the most iconic Dark Digivolutions in the entire franchise, and it's even an example of trauma affecting kids in the Digimon franchise that we saw long before things like Digimon Tamers, as Tai is genuinely scared to digivolve Agumon again in case Skull Greymon or another Dark Digivolution shows up. And funnily enough, the Digivice version complete toy from 2021 also added Dark Digivolution definitively to Digivice or V-Pet style toys, kind of for the first time. A full Dark Digivolution rather than the sort of V-Pet care mistakes evolution that I talked about earlier. And even more interestingly, Agumon and Gabumon can Dark Digivolve on the Digivice version complete. If you lose two battles in the same stage, instead of their normal Ultimates and Megas, you can get Skull Greymon and Black War Greymon for Agumon. Interesting they use Black War Greymon. The reasons we'll talk about in a little bit, I actually prefer Machine Dramon as Skull Greymon's evolution in Adventure, but Black War Greymon makes sense and it's a nice little homage to Zero 2. And Garurumon slightly boringly gets Were Garurumon Black and Metal Garurumon Black. Like, yes, these are kind of the dark Were Garurumon and Metal Garurumon variants, and obviously you see Black War Greymon and Metal Garurumon become things like Omnimon Zvort in V-Pets and card games, etc. But I've been a champion of Skull Balukimon as Garurumon's Dark Digivolution for so long, it being a Skull Digimon that very much looks like a winged Garurumon. It matches up perfect with Skull Greymon, but I wanted to talk about the Digivice version complete for this video anyway. Moving on to Digimon Adventure 02, Agumon once again is in the firing line as Kenichi Joji, the Digimon Emperor, forces him to Dark Digivolve, activating the form Skull Greymon once again. He even sicks him on the Digidestined, and Skull Greymon shows that traditional running wild, that uncontrollable rage and darkness once again that it tapped into in Adventure. Trying once again to make a Metal Greymon and turning Agumon into Skull Greymon, Ken actually has to upgrade his Dark Rings into Dark Spirals, and this is finally what allows him to access another Dark Digivolution for the Adventure Agumon, Virus Metal Greymon. This was huge for me as a kid. I was aware of the Virus Metal Greymon, I think because I'd seen promotional material, maybe it was on like a card or something that I had access to, so seeing it in the show was incredible, but then years later realizing that that Metal Greymon was the original Metal Greymon, that Agumon was Dark Digivolving to the original Metal Greymon, not the orange version, the non-virus version we came to know in the anime, was a fantastic callback and a great use of Dark Digivolution. Sticking with 02, we also have Hurricane Touchdown, or Digimon the Movie, where Willis's Kokomon gets infused by darkness. In the original Japanese, it's due to the fact that it's all alone, it is missing Willis. In Digimon the Movie, it's because of the influence of Diaboromon and its egg, and we see the resultant form of Wendymon Greymon for Kokomon. We never really see its Lopmon as far as I'm aware until later movies. And it becomes Antilamon, which was always disappointing to me as a Dark Digivolution because it's the same evolution that Teruyamon uses. I would like something a little bit more evil for the Wendymon evolution, but we do of course see Cherubimon Vice in that movie too, before it is kind of purified, becomes Cherubimon Virtue. Now of course it's Digimon Tamers time, and this is one that is always going to make like top 10 lists of like the most insane Dark Digivolutions, because when Jerry's partner Leomon is murdered by Beelzemon, Takato is engulfed in a rage, which activates the digital hazard on his partner Guilmon, Growlmon, and in this instance War Growlmon, causing it to Dark Digivolve to Megidramon. But it's interesting because the Guilmon lion has this digital hazard. However, if we look at Takato's drawings, he did not draw a digital hazard on Guilmon, meaning that somewhere in the process of Guilmon's creation, this digital hazard, this thing that threatens the human and digital worlds, was put onto him, which leads many to believe, myself included, that Megidramon, while a Dark Digivolution, is also kind of the default, the thing that War Growlmon will eventually become regardless. It was just that Takato's rage and negative emotion forced it to go further. Regardless though, an incredible scene, one of the scariest Dark Digivolutions ever. It's right up there with Skull Greymon for me, and it destroys Takato's Digivice, meaning he eventually has to get the golden Digivice, which is huge. I marked out as a kid seeing a Digidestin get a brand new Digivice, and a golden one at that. Digimon Frontier kind of has Dark Digivolution and kind of doesn't. The contender I would say for Dark Digivolution is Duskmon and Velgamon, the corrupted spirits of darkness belonging to Koichi, because, you know, he took a little tumble. I would say these do count as Dark Digivolution, as they are very much evil and corrupted, and when you compare them to the beast spirits, which also do kind of have reckless, bestial actions at first, Duskmon and Velgamon are a whole other kettle of fish. I would never count the beast spirits as Dark Digivolution. They're more like how in Tamers, when the Digimon Digivolve for the first time, they're just a little bit more wild and out of control because they never had these forms before. But Duskmon and Velgamon definitely are, I think, Dark Digivolutions. Some Digimon in Frontier that aren't Dark Digivolutions though are Ranamon, Arbamon, Grottemon, and Mercurymon in any of their evolutions. They are evil spirits, but they're not Dark Digivolutions. They're kind of inherently evil, although admittedly they do go on kind of like a process, some of them anyway. Then there's Cherubimon Virtue, which is another one that's similar to Dark Digivolution. I will count it, but it's very hotly contested. But basically Cherubimon, when it is kind of betrayed, it feels like, by the other angels, turns into Cherubimon Vice in that season. It was later purified and reborn, so, you know, it's all good in the end. And then there's Black Seraphimon, which I also don't count, because it's not a Dark Digivolution, it's actually Mercurymon scanning Seraphimon's data to Digivolve. This is an evil Digimon using a good Digimon to create a dark form. It's almost the inverse of Dark Digivolution in my opinion. Data Squad has, of course, Shine Greymon Ruin Mode. This is a very similar and intentional callback to the way that Skull Greymon appeared in Digimon Adventure, and indeed how Megidramon appeared in Digimon Tamers. Marcus is furious at Thomas, and this makes his Dark Digisoul trigger a Dark Digivolution into Shine Greymon Ruin Mode. I wish I liked Shine Greymon Ruin Mode, and the card game isn't helping that much, but it is a great example of Dark Digivolution in the franchise, and I like that it is a callback to Adventure. Digimon Cross Wars, the series, doesn't really have Dark Digivolution. It has some dark and evil Digimon, of course. The closest we really have here is kind of a dark pre-evolution, and that is that Ballistamon originally was Dark Volumon, who was not a cool little dude. I don't know if I count this as Dark Digivolution, but I want to know it anyway. Digimon Tri. In Digimon Tri, due to Jesmon's attack, Kari goes sicko mode, and her little baby Nyatomon Dark Digivolves all the way up to a Fanimon fall down mode. And this is actually, in the original Adventure canon, ignoring things like Adventure PSP, strictly anime canon, the first time we ever saw Gatomon's line become an Ophanimon. It had historically only ever became Magnadramon, and even from now on has only ever become Magnadramon. So the only time that the original Adventure canon's Kari has had her partner become an Ophanimon was fall down mode, which goes really well when it fuses with Ragglemon to become Ordainemon, which I will also consider a Dark Digivolution or a Dark Fusion. Anyway, and also yes, that teases up to the fact that Meikumon also kind of has Dark Digivolution, though not really. Official Digimon media describe it as a mutation, not a Dark Digivolution, but Meikumon becomes Maycrackmon Vicious Mode, and then Ragglemon, they look evil as heck. Like, I'm counting them as Dark Digivolution. This to me is like a DNA Digivolution versus a Fusion versus a Digicross. They are like technically different, and they are executed in different ways. So like, especially DNA Digivolution and Fusion are so similar, it's like annoying. If you don't want to count Meikumon's Dark Branch, you don't have to, but I will. Appmon was also happening at the same time. We don't really have Dark Digivolutions here either. Offmon has his evolutions that are kind of more feral, but that's more in line with its wolf-like tendencies, and feels more like the beast spirits going off the rails than a Dark Digivolution, although there are some like evil forces in Appmon. It's a whole thing. Digimon Adventure Adventure 2020, the first season to air after my original Dark Digivolution video. The big notable one is of course when Tai and Agumon are fighting Dun Devimon, Danny DeVito Devimon. The dark miasma starts acting up again, much how like it did when Metal Greymon became Metal Greymon Ultras mode. And indeed, as Metal Greymon Ultras mode this time, the dark miasma combined with Taichi going like, I don't even know, like Omae wa mo Shindeiru on Dun Devimon, Metal Greymon Ultras mode becomes this big energy-ridden Machinedramon. The first time we've ever seen an adventure anime Agumon Dark Digivolve to a Machinedramon. And even with this dark energy, Dun Devimon still kicks its butt. It's insane. But that's not technically it for this season, though we don't have quite Dark Digivolution for other characters. We do see the two Angel Digimon tied much more intrinsically to darkness in this season, with Gatomon doing something of a mix between Dark Digivolution and some sort of darkness armor, being met as Skull/Dark Knightmon before being redeemed and then struggling with that for some of the season. And then it transpires that Devimon in this season is literally a twin darkness to Patamon's light, created when Patamon or Angemon initially fell to darkness. So it's actually more like the darkness split, kind of a Vanitas and Ventus situation, but it's still a dark side to Patamon in that season, and I think is somewhere in the Dark Digivolution wheelhouse. And that brings us to the most recent season of the anime, Digimon Ghost Game, where yes, Gulus Gamamon is kind of a Dark Digivolution in a very similar way to Megidramon, as Gulus Gamamon is kind of Gamamon's default form actually, and it's only through the partnership with Hero that it gets other forms, but it's still presented very much like a Dark Digivolution. Gamamon's rage at seeing things like spoilers, Bokomon's death, triggers him to become Gulus Gamamon once again. We also saw Gulus Gamamon evolve further, I think very cool, to its ultimate form, Regulusmon, and though it sadly never showed up in Ghost Game, we also had a Mega for this Dark Digivolution branch, Arcturusmon, and even a fusion or DNA Digivolution called Proximamon, which seemed to be intended as a Siriusmon and Arcturusmon DNA Digivolution, balancing creation and destruction, because Siriusmon is kind of the good Mega for the Gamamon line. I didn't really vibe with Ghost Game in the end, but Gulus Gamamon and Regulusmon were like the entire reason I kept watching. Great Dark Digivolution, and I love that Gulus Gamamon had much more of a personality than the more rageful, berserk Dark Digivolutions we've seen previously. Alright, that's the anime done, but we've got other stories that I'm going to run down real quick. Digimon Seekers, of course, we have Eiji's jealousy at Leon Alexander, making Lugamon become Hell Lugamon. This is the counterpart to Soul Lugamon, which is kind of the purified or more normal non-Dark Digivolution of Lugamon and Lugamon. I wish we saw more Hell Lugamon in Digimon Seekers, but it was still cool. I also want to acknowledge that this video is coming out while Digimon Liberator is still releasing. There is a very high chance that we will get a Dark Digivolution of some kind, as we have a Bemon partner, Ghostmon partner, there's a bunch of other partners that could Dark Digivolve here, even Terromon himself, but it hasn't happened yet. Then for manga, Digimon Next, we of course have Barbamon, with Magna Angemon's negative thoughts, making a Dark Digivolution to Myrmicusmon happen, and when Yu is mourning the death of Trailmon, his Gaomon becomes a Black Gaugamon. That's kind of fun. I like how that kind of ties Gaomon, as even though it's not a Gabumon variant, it's very much an homage to Gabumon, and Gabumon and Garurumon have black variants too. In the Cross Wars manga, different to Cross Wars the series, it is said that Shademon's Lava Evolution is a Dark Digivolution when it is fed Hearts of Despair, and you can also count Shademon Nene as a Dark Digivolution, as it does have the Laminamon Nene counterpart, although I never want to think about those again. Quick rundown of video games! In Digimon Story, Black Agumon can Dark Digivolve to Dark Tyrannomon. Digimon Adventure PSP also has Skull Greymon because it's retelling the events of Digimon Adventure. Digimon World Next Order has Kota forces his partner to become a Skull Greymon in the attempt to get a Machinedramon, and you even have to kill that Skull Greymon, which is kind of crazy. This also eventually leads to things like Omnimon's Vought Defeat in that story, which I guess you could count. Digimon Rear Eyes has the Spirals. They make a bunch of Digimon Dark Digivolve, including a Tyrannomon that attacks a town and then becomes Skull Greymon, and of course the big part of the story is that our little buddy Herismon eventually digivolving to Stephilmon, influenced by the Spirals to become Rasenmon Fury Mode. Herismon and Meikumon are so similar. Digimon Survive has a few. Haruchika, who is a character from the past of Digimon Survive, has a Fang Longmon that eventually Dark Digivolves to the Master, which is kind of a dark life form or a digital life form. And interestingly, when you go through the truthful route, once you defeat the Master, it also can become Fang Longmon Ruin Mode, basically another Dark Digivolution, so it's like Dark Digivolution squared. Some other routes for Survive have, of course, Shuji, who was beating up his partner Lopmon the entire story. He is a terrible tamer in that game. I know some people see that he's just a kid. I get it, there is nuance. I personally can never forgive Shuji for what he did, but I understand if you can. Lopmon basically is so beaten down and so abused by his partner that it Dark Digivolves to Wendymon, goes berserk, kills Mega Seedramon, and then eats its partner. Digimon Survive is crazy. You guys have got to play it. In addition to that, in part 11 on the Wrathful route, after Saki dies, Aoi and Labramon are both bodied by Piedmon, and because Aoi wants to live so badly, her hand touches her partner's paw, and they Dark Digivolve into Plutomon together. Yeah, it's a Dark Biomerge. I did a whole video about what the other kids might Dark Biomerge to. What an insane ending, and it doesn't stop there, because also in Digimon Survive, on the Harmony route, Kaito, who is so cut up about his sister being dead, basically makes a deal with Piedmon to merge or fuse with Kaito's partner Myotismon and become Bolt Boutmon. This again technically isn't Dark Digivolution, but it is a result of the darkness in Kaito's heart after losing his sister and him wanting to destroy the world, so I would personally count it even if it is more like a Dark Fusion Digivolution. And that is it, the entire history of what I believe is every Dark Digivolution in the Digimon franchise, though of course I am only human, I am only fallible. I'm going from my experiences with Digimon media, Wikimon, Digimon Wiki, any other resources I could pull from in researching this video. I probably have missed one. Please let me know in the comments down below, though I may disagree with you on whether it is a Dark Digivolution or not, but again, this is as comprehensive as a list as I could put together. Thank you to my patrons over on patreon.com/Karn EX, including my amazing sovereign ZDK14. I appreciate you all so much for supporting this channel, and thank you to my channel members here on YouTube, and I'll see you next time when we go spooky. Bye bye!